Steelers and Colts on Monday Night Football, Ike. Colts with the interim head coach, Jeff Saturday. The Colts have now played 2 competitive games, and I tell you what the recipe is going to be: stopping Jonathan Taylor in the Colts ground game. Now, Saturday against the Eagles, very nearly pulled off the upset, and it was the first time the Colts all season had scored on their opening drive. It's going to be a line of scrimmage, ground and pound game, in my opinion. That's how the Colts had success a year ago when Taylor nearly was the MVP of the league, Ike, and he went for more than 1,800 yards. I expect more of the same on Monday night when the Colts take on the Steelers.
Yeah, Coach T made a comment I saw. They asked him about Jeff Saturday, the interim head coach, and his thoughts. And he felt like Jeff Saturday was a good person, was a good player, and he's doing a good job so far. But he definitely said, I know Jeff, and Jeff is a former offensive lineman, and they will try to establish the run. But that's a given. We talked about that on the show a couple of weeks ago on what Jeff Saturday will bring to the table. And that's getting Jonathan Taylor back up and running, starting Matt Ryan to see what he can do off that play action. But that's exactly what they're going to do from here on out, because Jeff Saturday is a former offensive line, and he knows exactly how to hit the defense.
I think the return of Matt Ryan to the starting lineup, Ike, has made a difference too. Sam Ehlinger, really not the guy there, and he's a young player, but Matt Ryan, a proven veteran, even with the shoulder injury. This offense has been better with Ryan on the field. I think that's made a huge difference. And so I'd expect more of the same. He at least gives the Colts a chance. And Colts in a weak division in the AFC South are still in the hunt. It's still a bit of a long shot for the Colts. But for any last hope that the Colts have, I would at least try to ride this thing out and see what Matt Ryan gives you at the quarterback position. Just my opinion.
Yeah, you said it best. I mean, he got the recipe, and that's a defense who's playing optimistic right now. They did well against the Philadelphia Eagles. They just didn't have enough ammo left in the tank to score more points than them. And also, man, that running game. Just Coach Jeff Saturday establishing that running game, and that's perfect for Matt Ryan. You can't ask Matt Ryan. Of course, he's up there in age, so he's able to sit in the pocket. But here we go, Matt Ryan again. He had one of the longest runs of his career, scrambling a couple of weeks ago against the Philadelphia Eagles. So, you know, Coach Jeff Saturday, man, is just a different kind of energy when he comes into the building. When you have former players who got that enthusiasm and they bring that toughness to the table, you best believe the Pittsburgh Steelers going to be in for it.
Ike, the looming question with the Steelers and the offense, and the Steelers have been better offensively since the bye week. Still not up to snuff in terms of league-wide. But the looming question, the elephant in the room, I'm going to put it out there. When's Diontae Johnson going to get into the paint and score a touchdown? He doesn't have one yet in the 2022 season.
Yeah, I think Coach T, man, he hit it on the head what he said. He said, just waiting on Kenny Pickett. In this business, there is no such thing as a waiting game in the NFL. You got to learn on the go, and you got to learn ASAP. What I did see with Kenny Pickett, him starting consistent weeks, he's seeing the field. He's just seeing the field a little bit slow, but I guarantee you, the more he plays, he's going to start reading his keys ASAP, and that's just with experience. So I'm seeing a lot from Kenny Pickett. I'm seeing him getting rid of the ball faster than he was, and him learning on the go. And I think he's just ahead of the game right now because he did play all 4 years in college, Mark. So it's just a matter of time, even though time is not on your hand when you talk about the NFL. But I think he'll be just fine. Najee got going. Warren wound up getting hurt. I think he hurt a hamstring in the game, in the last game. But other than that, we see Najee, you know, when Najee gets hurt, people acting like he's Superman. He's back. But getting Pickett, I'm sorry, GAP, and we're talking about gap. You know what I'm saying? So getting Pickett back in the game, getting him involved early and often. So when we do that, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a chance. It's just, you know, Kenny Pickett just seeing the field faster.
Ike, you've lent me your psychic abilities some this season, and I mentioned how a few weeks back the Steelers hadn't had a rush more than 20 yards, and the offense putting up more than 20 points in the game. This has got to be the week Diontae Johnson scores a touchdown. And this was a player who was a Pro Bowler a year ago with Big Ben. I know it takes time to develop rapport. You put Kenny Pickett out there in week 4 against the Jets, and you might not have had the rapport that he would have had with Pickett had Pickett been the starter from the jump. So you're trying to figure this out on the fly. I certainly get that. But we're talking about a player who, again, was a Pro Bowler a year ago, and that level of production hasn't been, what you would have expected for that huge contract extension. He signed it on the eve of the season. All Diontae Johnson's fault? No, but those are the factors that go into, okay, a guy's a Pro Bowl player, one of the top 4 at his position, at least, a little bit based on merit, a little bit based on fan vote, Ike. Hopefully they can get him going and he can develop a rapport with Kenny Pickett. And that's just something I'd like to see. And when I saw that Diontae hadn't scored this season, it was like, oh, man. Again, I know he had that rapport with Big Ben, but the offense, it just hasn't been there. And it goes back to what I've said in previous episodes too, Ike. It's like that Spider-Man meme where everyone's pointing at each other of what are the problems with this offense right now. And you can point to play calling, you can point to a line play, you can point to skill position play. We need to continue to see improvements in the offense. Again, I think we've seen a little bit of it since the bye week, but it's still just not where it needs to be. Diontae Johnson not scoring a touchdown this far into the season. It's one of many, many failures this offense has had this season.
Yeah, I mean, the offense had a lot going on. You talk about guys in and out of the offensive line. You talking about Najee not being 100%. You talking about going from Mitchell Trubisky to Kenny Pickett. So it is just like a growing pains here. And I think Diontae said it first. He said it early. Like, this is going to be one of those years where Pittsburgh is not normally Pittsburgh. And that's, above 500, trying to get into the playoffs, trying to hoist in Lombardi. So that's just what it is. I think a lot of people didn't want to hear that at the time when Diontae Johnson said that, but Diontae Johnson was 100% right. So the fact that he said that early, he understood not having a Hall of Fame quarterback and having them growing pains with a rookie quarterback is just going to take some time.
Ike, you mentioned Jaylen Warren earlier dealing with that hamstring injury. The Steelers have signed Master Teague III, running back out of Ohio State. One of the best names as well, Master Teague III. I love that. Hopefully Warren can get right. Not sure if he's going to play Sunday, but what I have my eye on is obviously Najee's gotten going the last 2 weeks, which has been encouraging. But if Warren's not able to go, who fills in that role? Who fills the void? Who helps carry the load the way that Jaylen Warren has done this season? Because that has been a bright spot for this offense for the Steelers.
Yeah, other than Pickens, other than GP, Jay Warren has been one of the bright spots. And even Najee was giving the young man some props when Najee needed a break or he needs some kind of rest. The production level didn't fall off at all. He's good coming out of the backfield. He's good picking up the blitz, and he's always falling forward. So to have a rookie like Jay Warren before he got injured was a huge plus for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're going to see what Master Teague do when he gets in the game, but you're 100% right, man. They missed Jay Warren coming out the backfield because he's a little bit more elusive. He's not a big bruiser and he's not as athletic as Najee, but he's always falling forward. And every time he puts the ball in his hands, he makes something good happen.
We will see, Ike. And again, on Monday Night Football, the over-under at 39 points. And I'll just go ahead and give you my score prediction now, Ike, because there's only so much that we can preview. I like the way that the Steelers traditionally play in prime time. I've got them winning on the road 23-20 against the Colts.
Yeah, you took my score. I was going to say 24-20 Pittsburgh Steelers. So you said 23. I was 24-20, but that sounded about right. TJ Watt, man. I saw a sign in the stadium for Pittsburgh. It says it's always good to have a Watt. And they ain't lying. When you got a Watt on your team, usually something good happens. And since TJ Watt came back from his injury, it's just the energy that he brings. I don't know if you checked out his interception. I don't know how in the world he caught the interception at the line of scrimmage. I couldn't catch interceptions if he just hit my hands wide open sometimes, or majority of the time. This young man caught an interception as soon as it left Joe Burrow's hands and came down with the ball. But that's T.J. Watt. What do you expect? Coach T said it last year. He's not from here. He's from outer space, and he's definitely not lying about that.
Did you see Joe Burrow's reaction? It was deja vu all over again, Ike.
He couldn't believe it. He like, this guy. Yeah. You could just see it in his body language. Like, every time this guy get around the ball, and that's the former league defensive player of the year, TJ Watt. Like every time this dude get on the field, something bad always happen to me. Something good always happen to him. But that's just TJ.
Yeah, and I'm over here with my popcorn. I like that there's beef between Watt and Lyle Collins. I love it. Give me more of that in all honesty.
I mean, that they make you step your game up, bro. When there's an understanding that you don't like me and I'm, it's like, man, may the best man win. You got to see me for 60 minutes. You know, ain't no friends when it comes down. Once that whistle blow, and you in between those white lines, I don't care if it's my mama. I don't care if my son. I don't care who it is. Hey, man, I don't like nobody if you're not wearing my uniform. If we ain't got on the same helmet, I don't like nobody. And that's exactly how Collins and TJ was. But it's also good for the sport. You know, when you got guys at that professional level and they're already playing at a high level, and then you add on, I don't like you, and I'm gonna make it known that I don't like you, and you got to see me. That's just icing on the cake.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And we'll see. We'll see. Steelers did manufacture 2 turnovers against the Bengals because that stunt that Robert Spillane tipped the pass that set up the Levi Wallace interception. Other than those 2 picks Burrow threw, and those were really a credit to the Steelers defense. Burrow played about as well as he could have. And remember, he was without Jamar Chase for the entire game and without Joe Mixon for a good portion of the game. And the Bengals still carved up the Steelers. And so I'm concerned because it's like we need to make sure Kenny Pickett develops pretty quickly here because we're going to have to deal with Joe Burrow and company for the next decade. But credit the Steelers defense on those 2 plays, creating turnovers in a game where for the struggles that the Steelers offense had in the second half, I actually think that Pickett probably played his best half of football in the first half against the Bengals. It was the tale of 2 halves, but we might be talking a little bit more about the defense and the struggles that they had against Cincinnati, if not for the offensive struggles that we saw in the second half. Like, it's a team sport, and that's just the way that I saw the Week 11 game against the Bengals.
Yeah, P-Ron got his opportunity once, and he just turned into another grown man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got the ball. Joe Burrow found him in the flats. He was making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people miss, or either it was just hard to tackle him. It took 2 to get him down. So, just looking at the Cincinnati Bengals from their backfield standpoint, they got good problems. Now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's just once you get to that tackling part, make sure you secure the tackle. I saw too many missed tackles.
Yeah, Ike, I'm with you there. Out of the backfield, the coverage, and P. Ryan got into the end zone 3 times. Also, T. Higgins looked like he was back in East Tennessee, dominating at Oak Ridge High School. He played a very good game. I know he had like 150 and some change as well at the receiver position.
Yeah, T, but they use T all different ways though, Mark. They put him in the slot, they put him outside, inside, left and right. They just didn't line him up at the X. So I think that's out Joe Burrow as well. Because once you put somebody in the slot like a T Higgins, it's kind of like the ultimate mismatch. You put them on the third corner, or a safety who's used to not cover, or a linebacker who just can't cover. So they found ways to get T Higgins the ball, and he had a hell of a game because I got him on my fantasy team.
Ike, your true allegiance comes out. That's amazing.